This is a warning. If you are ever on a basketball court and you see this coming, that is a 220-pound, 6'5" monstrosity of a final destination freight train, the best advice is to run. Don't walk. Don't contest. Spare your teammates, friends, siblings, dead relatives, anyone remotely related to you that has a chance of ever becoming anyone important at any point in time, the absolute and total embarrassment of being publicly humiliated by the NBA's most feared two-guard. A moment of silence for the poor souls that are about to grace the rest of this video. May the basketball gods have mercy on your soul and the souls of your ancestors. And lastly, pray that neither of you nor any of your family members are on this death note. These are the Ant-Man's top 5 most humiliating posters. The first sequence will add new meaning to putting the biggest turkey in your basket.
Yeah, this is the biggest one. Okay, so what are you gonna...
This is Jalen Green. This is Alperen Sengun. Both players make up the cornerstone of the future of the Houston Rockets. It has long been established that the two players, however, are unable to play well together, and now we know why. D'Lo spots Jalen Green well off his man Anthony Edwards. He hits Prince and tells him to find Ant up top with the swing pass. Jaden McDaniels forces Sengun to turn his back to prevent the lob. Big mistake. It seems when Jalen Green unpacked his goodie bag on this play, the only thing he was packing was Alperen Sengun's whole trust, seemingly leaving his D at his baby mom's house. In just 4 seconds of real-time action from the start of this clip, you will see the erosion of said trust between a 2 and his 5, when said 2 was supposed to have said 5-6. Let me repeat that. Said 2 was supposed to have said 5-6. With Edwards' auto ultra instinct activated, there remained only 2 options, death or dishonor. Edwards pounced, and before Sengun realized what hour it was, Anthony Edwards punched the time clock, loading, reloading, and exploding all over Crody while Jaden Green's D loading. The streets are saying that for the sheer terror that Alperen Sengun faced at the hands of the Ant-Man, the look he gave Jalen Green following that encounter,
that's it. That's the look.
was a sign of things yet to come for this Houston's cornerstone, which has now become Houston's headstone. As if it wasn't bad enough that the Pistons broke the record this season for taking the most L's in a row. That is 28 straight games of getting clunked, crapped, hammered, and absolutely wasted on. You'd think the stigma would be enough suffering for this young team. And it is. It's just that Anthony Edwards doesn't tend to align well with an ideology espousing showing mercy to mediocrity. It all starts with Edwards in the corner. I'm going to tell you right now that Anthony Edwards does not see any of these 3 defenders on the screen. That's Ausar Thompson, Alec Burks, and the final boss, Jalen Duren. Even Rudy Gobert, who pops up to set a bad screen, couldn't stop what was about to happen. 3 defenders, a bad screen, and Anthony Edwards' response is,
I'm here to tell you right now, we don't care.
Despite the bad screen, Gobert forces Duren to drop a couple of steps. The double-edged sword was about to strike. Pick your poison. Duren, thinking he'd done enough to keep Rudy from getting the lob pass, fell into the ant trap. With explosive force, Edwards rose up from the floor like the demon from hell and smashed on the piston like a floating valve. Without his ability to play D, one proverbial saying sums up what just happened. It is better to be pissed off than to be pissed on. Because ever since that moment, his teammates have only referred to him as Jalen Duren. This next poster was so abominable, I felt the disrespect through my TV screen. I thought about the victim's teammates, his friends, his family, what he did for the sport.
Kevin Durant. You know who I am.
And how in one instant his entire image as being the unicorn of basketball for the better part of the last 2 decades is now being questioned. It all starts with Bradley Beal. I might not be the smartest guy in the room, but something tells me you shouldn't put just any defender on the opposing team's most dangerous offensive player, especially when he's been dominating in the series to the point where they're up 3-0 against your squad. Now this example by Beal is exactly why Anthony Edwards has been an absolute terror squad by himself. A poorly timed, poorly executed, and lazy swipe by Beal threw him off balance and caught at the right time allowed Edwards to smoke him with the first step. KD guarding the post and playing the 5 in this situation sees Edwards blowing by Beal, but it's already too late. Edwards attacks the paint, and with barely any reaction time left for Durant to make a move, he sees his life flashing before his eyes. But not just his life, his entire career, his accomplishments, Steph's finals MVP trophies and championship rings, all seem distant in this one moment that will define the end of an era. Edwards rose up and pounded the Slim Reaper into the annals of history. Nothing was the same. If your family name ends in Watanabe, you might want to skip this next humiliation ritual. Back when everyone was in danger of contracting COVID, the Raptors' Yuta Watanabe was in danger of something far more sinister. A life-altering encounter with a rookie named Anthony Edwards. DeAndre Bembry, Watanabe's teammate, closed out on Anthony Edwards' pump fake. He steps out of bounds in front of the ref, but hey, the people that aren't in the stands aren't here to see my new whistling technique, so I'ma let that cha-cha slide. Edwards goes baseline, sees absolutely no opening. 2 defenders in the paint, and with sheer confidence, dismisses them both. The rack attack was a moment of lucidity.
Out in the street, they call it murder.
Ant-Man jamrock on Watanabe and Aaron Baines, dunking so hard on Japan, Canada, and Australia in one single attempt, the International Criminal Court would be the only venue to save what remained of this Eastern Conference team. Neither Bembry, Watanabe, nor Baines can be found playing in the NBA to this day. Even coach Nick Nurse, who coached the team to a championship, was cursed to leave and take on the arduous task of attempting to revive the dying franchise that is the Philadelphia 76ers. But none of these breathtaking moments holds a candle to the apocalyptic ending of Jazz forward John Collins.
Hey, that was my best dunk of my career, I'm not gonna lie.
Now Collins is interesting because he's known for making his own posters. One of his most famous being...
Yeah, that's interesting. Okay, I don't know.
Well, guess I must have the wrong brother. But really, John Collins has thrown down a few monster dunks of his own. To see him on the receiving end really puts into perspective how easily the scripts get flipped in the league. After coming up with the steal, Anthony Edwards initiates the fast break. He finds Alexander Walker on the outlet, easily beating Jazz rookie Keontae George. Alexander Walker hit Edwards back for the 1-2 pass, and all hell broke loose. A quick glance to the left side of the court showed a very spatially aware Edwards that there was absolutely zero protection in the paint, with a small 6'1" Colin Sexton sprinting back and a slow-moving John Collins too casual to notice the impending attack of an athletic freak. Edwards catches the pass in rhythm and launches a brutal assault on the pathetic Jazz defense. The Ant-Man explodes all over John Collins with the most ruthless dunk of his young career at just 22 years old. Vince Carter had just one thing to say about John Collins' career. It is over. Now, naturally that should be the end, but I had to give you guys a bonus. This dunk was so outrageous and humiliating, it should never be left off any list save for the fact that it didn't count. Because the referee was so offended for the poor man and his family, that poor man, Gabe Vincent, was never the same after an Anthony Edwards poster that sent him to the peanut gallery. You see, the theme on 5 out of 6 of these dunks remains the same. It always starts with one player selling out his teammate and ending up with a lifetime of regret on top of punishing rewards. In this instance, Duncan Robinson decided that he would deny Edwards the high entry pass, but Edwards' quick thinking and communication with D'Lo was prime time. A slight push was all it took to send Edwards towards the basket like a bullet train as he airlifted the Heat's drop coverage, and 6'3" Gabe Vincent recovered from the weak side to take the charge and stop Anthony Edwards. But it was too late. The Ant-Man was locked on and came right at Vincent, whose face was filled with the thrill of frolicking nuts and hard-working sweat. Not only did Edwards finish this vicious throwdown, the entirety of his teammates were in shock after what they had just witnessed. The referee blew his whistle on what was obviously a murder on live TV. Someone had to rescue this poor man from the embarrassment that would have become of his family had they let this one through. But the Miami Heat knows the truth. Gabe Vincent's game never recovered and was sent to the Lakers at the next opportunity. The sad truth is, by the time you watch this video, Gabe Vincent might be out of the league. Don't forget to like the video and turn on all your notifications so you don't miss any of my latest uploads. Thanks for watching. Till next time. Swish.